Hello and welcome to a special episode of Rio Reacts. We'll be talking all things transfers, especially to do with Man United. Who will stay, who will go. And this one is not quite over the line just yet, but United on the brink of signing a left back. I'm excited about this one. Patrick Dorgu, 30 million plus add-ons from Lecce. It's a position I think Man United have been crying out for a long time. We've had Mathys and we've had Shaw. Both have been injured for long periods and different periods. And so haven't been able to play. So we've been playing right-footed players in left-back positions. Mazraoui is filled in there. Dalot is filled in there. So it's been a position that's been tough to kind of pin down and get someone playing there regularly. Hopefully this boy can do that. What I would say is I don't think we should be expecting him to come in and be the finished article just yet. Like I said, he made his debut in senior football only last year. Yes, he's got 4 appearances for Denmark. He scored a goal, which is great, but he's still very inexperienced. Again, coming from a new league as well, got to settle in, give him time. So I don't think Man United are buying him for the finished article yet. They'll be hoping to develop him. And I think that's the key point, development. I think that the club need to show now that they can develop players. Yes, we're recruiting players. I think the trend we're seeing it. Chido, the young centre-forward from Arsenal, 16 years old. Lenny Yoro. Now we've got Dorgu, Aidan Heaven, the young centre-back from Arsenal. So there's 4 young players who we've brought in, and you go, do you know what? And you've got Rasmus Højlund in there as a young player, and you've got Kobbie Mainoo, and you've got Garnacho, and you've got Toby Collier. These are young players now who need developing. I think we've seen over the last, 12, 15 years, since Sir Alex Ferguson's time, we haven't really developed players and seen them really go on and get to the top level and sustain it. And I think that's either players coming through or players that we've actually bought in. So I think that's something that has really got to be looked at, and I think the club are going to focus on that, and I'd like to see that continue, that trend of buying the top young talent around, because that's what happened back in the day. I was a young player, highly thought of, Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, Nani, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Anderson was a golden ball winner at that time. So Pogba was signed as well as a kid. So there's a lot of players that we've seen that's been done with. But this kid is a young player who's versatile, can play right or left-hand side. Physically very, very, very good. He's powerful, he's dynamic, he's strong, he's quick. So they're great traits to start with and can really kind of mould him into a player that's going to fit the Amorim style. I think those traits I just mentioned fit perfectly into what Amorim wants. He wants versatile, he wants dynamic, quick, aggressive players all over the park, and this is a player I think fits that bill perfectly and the style of football that Amorim wants to play. I think to understand who he is as well, he's a raw talent. I think that's a real kind of element that needs to be understood by the fan base. I don't expect him to come straight in and be a starter every game. I think he'll be dipped in. Like I said, I think he'll be more of a key development player we'll see grow into this role. But like I said, I think he fits the role perfectly in what Amorim wants. He's going to have to learn the system, learn what Amorim wants, and really get adjusted to that as quick as possible. Also, I think he needs help. I think bringing in these young, talented players, they need help within the squad. The likes of Bruno, the captain, Harry Maguire, Casemiro, Ericsson. These are experienced pros that are around these young players, and they're going to have to start really nurturing these young guys, bring them into the team environment, and start making them feel part of it as quick as possible. I think I used to do that quite a lot. I'd definitely have a conversation or two with any new signing, and you just see how your rapport goes, and if you bounce off each other the right way. I might not be the right person after that first 1 or 2, but then hopefully someone else within the group who's a bit of a leader, more experienced, can then bring that player under their wing. And it'd be interesting to see who he kind of moves with when he gets there. But interesting to see what's going to happen with Luke Shaw and Mathys. I wouldn't be surprised if Mathys goes out on loan. We've been hearing his name maybe going to Betis with Anthony, who's gone out on loan as well. So that remains to be seen. But he needs to play some football and show he can stay fit, Mathys. And Luke Shaw, I hope he comes back as soon as possible, because when Luke Shaw's fit, I have to say, he's the best English left-back around. But he just hasn't been able to stay fit for long enough periods where we could see how good he is, because he definitely makes our team better when he's been fit. I think we have to look around now and we keep hearing the rumours Garnacho might be leaving. Napoli have put bids in, we're hearing. Kobbie Mainoo, is he going to stay or is he going to go? These are names that have been spoken about. Casemiro may be leaving. I've got to be honest, I'll be really disappointed and I'll be gutted if the two young kids that have come through the academy leave. I think Garnacho, whether he doesn't fit Amorim's new style of play where he wants his wingers to play inside, and Garnacho's an out-and-out left winger. He wants to play out wide and be on the touchline, get paint on his feet, so to speak. Doesn't fit the way that Amorim wants to play, but he could be the one who's a bit of can Amorim adapt a little bit? Can he adapt his tactics and the shape of his team a little bit to suit somebody like Garnacho? Because he seems like the one. Ahmad does it, and Ahmad is a different type of player. He's a ball carrier, and he's a bit more of an inventive player, an imaginative player. But we haven't got that raw pace, that raw energy, someone who wants to get behind teams and is aggressive and has that character and personality that goes, give me it and I'll do something. There ain't many games that I watch Garnacho where he doesn't produce something where you go, oh, he gets you off your seat, or he makes a keeper make a save, or he just unnerves the opposition. We haven't really got anyone else who does that. And he's that point of difference maybe that sometimes you need, that the manager can just throw in to a game, or even come in as a sub, that just changes the dynamic of the team. And I think I think he could be important in that sense in this team. He's just that different reference point. And Kobbie Mainoo, again, he played in the game in the Europa League this week. Scored one, got an assist, playing higher up. Now, I've been saying that for a while. I like him when he's higher up. He started as a kid as a bit of a 10 type player, higher up so he's accustomed to receiving the ball under pressure. I actually think Kobbie Mainoo, when he receives the ball and he gets pressed, that's when you see the best of Kobbie Mainoo, because then it's natural instincts that come into play, natural ability to be able to move away from people, use his body, use his skill, his little deft feints here and there to really open the game up and then slot people in or shoot and get chances at goal. So I think Kobbie can fit in a team in a more higher position, like that 8/10 position. But I just think also, sometimes you've got to find places for certain people. I think Kobbie Mainoo is one of them. I think he's that talented. And I think also as to what signs are you sending out to the next generation of players that are coming through at Manchester United. And I think this is where the financial situation, I think, needs to be looked at by the FA. They need to look at this. The FA and the Premier League, I think, need to get rid of this PSR business where it's actually glorifying and incentivising football clubs to sell homegrown talent. Like Man United don't sell McTominay if it wasn't for this PSR stuff, where it's all profit from a homegrown player. So they need to get rid of it. It's the worst rule, the worst transfer rule that I've seen in years. The whole point of bringing a young player through was to connect the fans to the club. They see identity there, somebody that you can look at and go, that's a bit of me. I can see myself there through the players. Class of 92 wouldn't be who they are without this. Imagine PSR back then. Half of them wouldn't have been at the football club. A whole generation came up knowing who the Class of 92 are. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's wrong on all levels. So it needs to be changed. And I don't think if the PSR weren't there, I don't think we'd be seeing Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo kind of being really touted about as being players that are going to leave potentially. So let's get rid of that, please. Mathys the Bayern Munich centre forward, French kid. He is a mad talent, by the way. I've seen him close up. I've seen him come on in a game in the Champions League for Bayern Munich and score a goal. Like, really good finish, centre forward. Can play different areas of the striker's role, but has pace, has ability, and I think he's been at Bayern Munich for a while and hasn't been getting the opportunities he wants. And I think that his ability deserves. He needs to play. Could he be one that Man United go for? It's weird because on the show that I done, I think it was last week, I was calling that I think in a striker's position, Man United needs some experience. We've got Xerxes, we've got Højlund. Two players, I think, need somebody around them who they can go, okay, that's what you do, and can talk to them and show them how to become the real deal centre forward. I think that's what we're missing in that area of the football pitch. So to buy another young one up there, when you've got Cheeto as well, who you've bought from Arsenal, are you then stopping his lane into the first team as well? So there's a lot to consider. I don't see Tell. If Tell was to sign from Bayern Munich on a permanent, maybe one of the other two goes, maybe, if that happens. And just to go back to Patrick Dorgu, £30 million plus add-ons. Young, hungry, meant to be a really good kid as well. Raw, yeah, he is. But with them attributes of pace, the raw strength, the ability to get up and down, play on either side, there's versatility there as well. I'm hearing he's a kid who's eager to learn as well. So fingers crossed, comes in. Don't expect too much too soon. He's a young kid, a development player. I think is going to be someone who's going to be dipped in and out. But I'm expecting him to come in and show us a few bits and pieces. Hopefully get a couple of goals as well. But good luck, and that's it from Rio Reacts. Thanks guys for listening to this episode of Rio Reacts. Hope you've enjoyed this show, and if you have, make sure you leave us a review and follow this Rio Ferdinand Presents feed to make sure you never ever miss an episode. If you've got a point you think we should be discussing or want to put us on the spot with a question you want answering, get in touch using the fansfirst@rioferdinandpresents.com email address or use #RFP on social. See ya on the next one.